Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
They say that if you build a better mousetrap, people will beat a path to your door. And for one local company, finding your niche can prove to be quite successful. It can also contribute to a better society. That's the goal of Derek Haddad, whose turnkey design company, Haddad Wiley Industries, or HWI, builds clean rooms for the life science industry. From pharmaceutical manufacturing to biotech upstarts, HWI helps its clients reduce the chance of contamination. It designs environments that create an ideal atmosphere for sterile preparations that are easy to clean. And hospitals from UPMC to the Cleveland Clinic and Mount Sinai are taking advantage of their products. Derek Haddad is president and CEO of HWI, and Matt Schonder is a pharmacist by trade and pharmacy director for UPMC Braddock, one of HWI's customers. They both join us this morning on the Sunday Business Page to explain why HWI has become so successful. Well, congratulations, gentlemen, and welcome. We're glad to have you here.
Good to be here.
Derek, I think I have to ask you right off the bat, what is a clean room? What does that mean?
A clean room environment is usually a laminar flow, clean air particulate environment that removes dust and particles from the work zone that a particular technician's working in. In our clean rooms, we're really focusing on life science biopharma, so it's more antimicrobial and reducing the risk of microorganisms, more sterile environments than it is dust-free. It is dust-free, but not as dust-free as you would see in a semiconductor industry. So what we're doing is more pharma bio-based.
Yeah, these are rooms totally unlike when we talk about to our kids, clean up your room. We're talking something very different here, and I take it, Matt, it's something that's absolutely essential in a hospital?
Certainly, the regulations changed in about 2005. Every hospital pharmacy was challenged to meet these regulations called USP 797 standards. Derek with HWI had a solution to meet these standards at just the right time.
And tell us exactly what it has meant for you at UPMC.
Well, UPMC Braddock was one of the first hospitals in the tri-state area to comply with these standards. We moved from a relatively small clean room space to a large clean room space, including an anteroom, all designed by HWI.
Derek, help us to understand, sort of in layman's language, what it is exactly, the equipment that you've designed and what it looks like.
Matt's job was actually unique to many we do. We actually found a way to tie into their existing HVAC system and upgrade their existing system to tie in the new. But basically, we had to put in a separate, isolated air conditioning system to service that room. And then we also then do the architectural finishes to give them an aseptic, heat-welded, seamless environment inside the room that we then tie together and engineer with an HVAC system. And
HWI, based here in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And how many folks do you have working for you?
We have 15 now. We just are opening up an office in the Research Triangle Park area, RTP in North Carolina. We'll be opening up an office down there. That's the zone right between Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh, called RTP, and it's really one of the largest pharma biosectors in the world. So we'll be opening up an office there in the next 2 months. We've just hired 3 more people down there to run that office.
This really is sort of a good news story for a Pittsburgh company during these difficult economic times. I take it the government has really caused part of this with its regulations.
You would think so. This is some of this is regulatory driven, so the economics of it is maybe secondary, especially in the times now that we have the tough economic times.
And as far as the kind of person, you're in the hiring mode, so anybody watching this show, maybe you need a certain kind of person to work for you?
We need all sorts of people to work for us. We need people that are qualified in engineering. We need people qualified
in... Now, when you say that, because we've had previous guests talk about, there's a whole range of engineering.
Sure.
What kind of engineers are you looking for?
Well, we outsource, obviously, state by state, wherever we're doing. We're doing a project in 9 states now and in 2 countries. Right. So we have to outsource engineering state by state so that we have licensed engineers stamping that engineering package or that
right.
basis of design wherever we go. But in-house, I need people that have engineering capabilities that can do work scope, basic understanding of construction projects, that can write right. work scopes and then work with general contractors or subcontractors and break down the scope requirements of what we're going to be providing for the customer. And then we also need people in construction management. We need people with facilities experience that understand, one of the dynamics that we had with Matt and that we have everywhere we go is tying a clean room and retrofitting a clean room into their existing environment.
Sure.
They normally don't have real estate to work with, and we have to come in and custom build this for their facility. So having people in facilities that have facilities backgrounds and can work with in-house facilities at hospitals and speak their language and understand their territory is important for us too.
Does that mean you need pharmacists as well, or you just know how to work with them?
It definitely helps you to learn the ergonomic and workflow of what Matt does in sterile compounding, because one of the, and I'll let Matt kind of talk about this, but really one of the problems we run into is a lot of architects will specify products and designs for him without really understanding what his workflow ergonomic process is. And we've learned that process now that we've done so much work with sterile compounding pharmacists. So it helps us kind of to run the show and help design the room and build the room in conjunction with the architect. All due respect to them, but it's kind of our expertise now.
And Matt, to the end user, the patient, the person who is taking advantage of that hospital and who needs the medications, the work, this kind of a clean room, I take it, is essential for what you do?
Absolutely. The key thing about it is that the clean room is rarely ever seen by a patient.
Yeah.
This all happens...
I mean, it's all new to me. This is fascinating.
Absolutely. This happens down in the pharmacy that few people get to enter anyway, and even in the back corner of a pharmacy that few people actually go to work into.
And is this where you mix, when you say compounding, are you mixing medicines?
Sure. We're taking prepping
drugs?
IVs as they're ordered by physicians, and we have to make them on a certain cycle. We have to apply stability and sterility dates to these products as they hit the floor, try to minimize waste, try to optimize workflow, etc.
And I'm assuming 20, 30 years ago, you just did this in a regular room.
Yes, yes. The standards were quite different, even in the all through the 90s.
6 months ago.
6 months. I mean, we're really into a whole new...
Well, the bottom line is they wrote this, they issue 797 in 2004, 2005. They keep changing it, but the bottom line is there's thousands of hospitals right now that are out of compliance with the mandate, because I would say that the State Board of Pharmacies don't really have the staffing to really inspect it and start levying fines across the board. So it's taking its time, and it's good. You don't need to make it too much of a dogfight, but we're just trying to spread the word.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating, and I think the good news about all of this is that you've got a company based in Pittsburgh that's growing and growing and growing, and helping folks like Matt in hospitals all over the world. We really appreciate it. Matt Chandra, thank you, sir, for coming in. Derek Haddad, good luck to you with this company, and we'll have you both back again.
All right.
Thank you so much. We'll be back with more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.
The Sunday Business Page will be back in just a moment.